Hello there. This is Madeline from Madeline's Craft Room. And tonight in our live stamping class, we are going to do a technique. So if you are joining me live, be sure to comment so that you can be entered in the draw. And I just love to be able to see you participating with me. And it's always something that makes it so much more fun to create together. So, for those that don't know, I am Madeline from Madeline's Craft Room, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Vancouver Island, BC, Canada. And so tonight, as I do every Thursday night, I do a Facebook Live. Hello, Linda. There she is. And tonight is a technique night. We did one technique with the Brayer a few weeks ago, and this is kind of the follow-up of it because we're going to focus more on the backgrounds rather than only embossing folders. However, somebody asked me a question, and so we are going to look at that too. So we will do lots of things tonight, and I am going to first show you by showing this brayer. If you missed my first video, you will notice that this brayer is one of the new. Oh, there's Penny. Hello, Penny. Yes, we are going to answer your question tonight, Penny. So this is the new Stampin' Up! Brayer in the new Mini 2024 catalog, and we are loving this. Now, it is very different from our old brayer, and I have been doing a lot of practicing. As you can probably see by my hands, I've been having a lot of fun playing with ink. So hopefully I can share some new ideas with you tonight. But the key that is very different about this brayer is that it is definitely more firm rather than soft. So it's a very firm brayer, and so that's what makes it quite different from our old one. Hello, Marjorie. Oh, you're even joining me live. Oh, and Wendy. Right on. Hello, ladies. And so this one also has a little stand. So when you're putting it down, then you're able to, yeah, you're right. I was having fun, just like gardening, right? Anyway, today it was ink. And this helps you to be able to stand it down, and then the rubber is not on your surfaces and making a mess anywhere or ruining your brayer. So that's really important. And tonight you'll see that I've finally been able to also practice with my glass mat, as this is something that is available if you sign up with Stampin' Up! It's fantastic. I've been hearing a lot about it, and I've been so focused on my catalog launch that I didn't have time to really play with it. But what a perfect night tonight, because this is technique night and we are going to use it. Now, I should say, and I didn't even bring it, but the celebration is where you can earn this free. So, what a deal. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do some samples. I am going to show you two cards that I have made with some of these techniques, and I probably will have another one tomorrow on my blog. But tonight we are going to just learn the different techniques. And one thing that I really love with the glass mat is this silicone mat. It does not slide. And I'll tell you, when I was doing the brayer work last time, I was going like this, and my goodness, this thing just kept kind of sliding on me. And what's beautiful about this is that it does not slide. It can stay right on your mat, and you can just go one way. Of course, you don't want to be going each way. Just lift up and go again. And you're just going to get some color. And one, I'm going to show you how I learned from mistakes. And one is that when you do this, actually, I'm going to use a smaller one to start off with. Hang on. Just to show some things not to do, because that's kind of how I learned. So again, we're going to go this way. And I had my paper. Oh, that was the other thing I did. And I left my other silicone mat over by the sink. I love the glass mat, but it is more slippery. And I did find that if I put my silicone mat just for this technique, then it doesn't tend to slip as much. Oh, and remember, the little feet have to go up. You do not want to be able to stab your pad. Not a good idea. Okay, now you always start off, and the old brayer, we used to press down fairly hard. And if you press down, it works, but this time it worked. I'm going to show you what it did. Isn't that hilarious? You know? And well, maybe it's because I did it a few times, but look how dark it went. So let's see if it will do that again. And I have found that the secret definitely is, I'm going to turn this over, by not pressing too hard. And you know what? I bet you it's because I did this on the mat. Let's see if that makes the difference. No. And you just go back and forth, making sure you're going off the mat. No, it doesn't even. Isn't that funny? How did I get that? Anyway, I'm going to show you the difference of when you go lightly. And especially if you want to change it up and do a more ombre look. Got to ink it up really good. You really just want to go very lightly. See, now that left a mark. Ladies, let's try the silicone mat just to kind of keep it more stable. Okay, off the mat and down. And I'm a little bit off. And this is another thing that I learned, is that when you're going long, because of the length of the brayer, that sometimes it is better to go sideways. So, but ink up your whole brayer. So if you can see how I'm starting on this side, but then I'm moving it along and making sure that I get it on the other side. Make sure you get lots of ink on there. It doesn't even look like I have anything on there, but I do. Okay, so here we go. Off the paper and roll. And you can see by doing that, then I was not left with this line. So I would recommend when you're doing it, don't put your paper this way. Put your paper more landscape. And I did find that did work better. Okay, now another thing I learned by mistake. Which one is it? Oh, actually not by mistake. Well, maybe. Look at this effect. Now they say you shouldn't do this, but I kind of thought this was a kind of a cool technique. And with this one, I'm going to use a bigger paper. So I am going to ink it up again. Got a little smudge there, but that's okay because we're going to, oopsie, I should move it up a little more. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. Now I do need some flex room here. So what I did is I started off the paper and I went that way, inked it up again. That's interesting. Now, why did it do that? I have found there's some interesting things that happen here. Now I'm going to go another way. So I'm just going to keep inking this up and turning it around, start off the paper and go. And I found that when you do that, the lines can actually kind of work for you in this case because it adds another little bit of creation here. I'm going to show you here with this one. So every one, of course, is going to look a little bit different. Yes, exactly. Oh, there's Vicky. Hello, Vicky. Okay, so let's try going this way. Oops, that made it really dark. Okay, let's try going this way. So just keep going crisscross, crisscross. And again, you could stop it at any time. So if you feel this is dark enough, then you could stop. I'm going to go that way. But there, you'll get the idea of how that works. So that is a different way. And actually, is this the same color? I think this is the same color. So interesting how it will lighten up a bit. Okay. Now, there was one other one that I was going to show you. When you watch Stampin' Up! And they tell you how to do this, it was very interesting how they showed us how to use the new Brayer. And it was, you ink it up. Get some good ink on there. And then they kind of skipped it. So I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, but they would kind of go like this. Okay, oops, getting the screen there. So again, you could leave it like that, or if you want to go a little bit more, or even start this way this time. Ink it up. Okay, and again, kind of lifting it up and restarting it. So actually that does leave quite a cool, and here is Granny Apple Green in that. So you can see how these could make quite some interesting backgrounds. So that is another way that you can do it. Okay, next. Now the next way, I was trying to add two colors together and didn't work out so good the first time. So I'm going to show you a way that I found that it worked a little bit better. Let me see, maybe put this over here so you can still see it there. Okay, now we're going to need, what do I have there? I have fresh freesia. This is Highland Heather. So I found that if you kind of kept fairly close to the same colors, it definitely had more of a gradual look to it. And starting with the lighter color, oh, I guess it would help if we have a piece of paper. So we're going to use fresh freesia first. And we're just going to ink that up. Okay. And I found that if I just, oh, pardon me. Well, maybe I should show you how I'm going to show you what not to do first. Let's do that. Okay. So at first I thought, okay, what if I then take this color and because the old one, we used to be able to slide it along, but you can see that doesn't work so good with this one. And I'm pressing fairly hard again. And that is not the way we do it. So even if you took it now and you went over here into the Highland Heather and you thought, okay, let's see if I can blend these two together, start off and move it in. It's not bad, but you can see how the blending, I find that it's really hard to get it to go over. So what I found was a little bit more helpful to do that. And I'm not going to worry about cleaning my brayer each time, just because I'm using the same colors. But for this technique, what I found, and again, having the paper going landscape, but we want to ink it up again in the lighter color. Okay. And then I'm going to go a little bit into my Highland Heather. Yes, Highland Heather. And just this half of it. I'm just going to do a little bit there. But then I'm going to do something naughty. And I'm going to go a little bit into my other color, fresh freesia. Okay. And now I'm going to go down. Okay. And then I'm going to try it. But see, it does not maybe I'm pressing too hard again too, but this is where you see how it doesn't carry over very much. So you have to definitely work at it a little bit more, and you're going to see another way that I was able to do it as an ombre effect. Okay, and I'm going to go into the Highland Heather a little bit, but now I'm going to go back over and just very lightly. Okay, and now, actually, whoops, how am I going to do that? No, I can flip it this way. Don't want to turn it over and those bumpy parts are there. Okay, so now so you can see, then you have that kind of look. But if you just went with the one color and then the other, it just doesn't seem to blend as well. So that's what I found with that one. Okay, now I think I might switch now to a different color. So now I'm going to use a white. Oh, I guess I could use Habit. I should use my nice new cloth. This is so soft. Oh my goodness, it feels so good. And I've decided to keep it in one of these plastic little zip containers when I'm envelopes when I'm not using it, so that it can keep a little bit moist. Okay, we're going to change colors. Let's try going into a green. I know, I like my purples. So we're going to start with a soft, so soft seafoam and Granny Apple green. Okay, so those are the two we're going to try here. Actually, no, I'm not going to do Granny Apple green. Not for this one. Let me find my sample. Oh, I don't have a sample because I used it in my card. That's okay. We'll do one. Okay. So, again, point up, and we're going to ink it up. Okay, and now the key is we're going to press very, very lightly, but we're going to start on this side, okay? And we're just going to go down and move it up a little bit. And if you, oh yeah, you can see it there. See, when you do it lightly, it tends to have, or tends to finally stick to the paper more. I don't know, maybe when you're pressing hard, is it just pressing it instantly into the paper? And then there's not much that will be able to go into the paper. I'm not sure, but it definitely does work. Okay, I'm going to start off, and then we're going to go gradually down. But you definitely need to start on one end because we want to make it like an ombre effect. Okay, so I'm going to start a little bit over now, and I'm going to go again over. Okay, so you can see this does take a little bit more time, but I'll show you, I'll just do a little bit more and then I'll show you the finished card so you can see how it works. Okay, so again, a little bit over, and then we're going to keep going in. So basically, we're working it up gradually to get an ombre effect. Okay, so let me find where my card is. It is here in this pile somewhere, right on the bottom. Okay, so here is the card that I did. And so you can see it's darker here and then it's going lighter. And then I use the quiet, where's that stamp set? Right under all my papers. Nope, it disappeared. I think it's called Quiet Moments, I think. But it's a beautiful flower. And I don't know if you can see, I put the Wink Castella and the rhinestones in the center of the flower. But that's how I made it into a card. So there's one. Okay, now one more. Yeah, that's it with the Brayer work. on that, directly on the paper. Now I'm going to show you when you take a stamp, and especially this one, it's not a background stamp, but it's pretty close. So, oh, we definitely don't want green. So, I'm going to take another wipe here, get that off. And again, it doesn't look like there's much green, but believe me, yep, that's what's even on my hand. It is there. All right. So I think for this one, I think I'm going to use Night and Navy. Okay. So I'm going to open that up. And like I say, I love this because it stays there. Fantastic. Okay. Now we definitely can get rid of that now. I'll move that there so that we don't see the glare. And I'm going to turn the world going this way. Turn the world. All right. We are going to flip that, and I'm going to get a paper ready. And here we go. Into the ink. Now you will see that this one, you're going to see a little bit more of the ink on the actual brayer. You see a little bit more. Okay, and we're going to start at the very end of one stamp and go down, and then back and forth, back and forth. And because this is a distinctive stamp, these really work good on the distinctive stamps. Okay, now what I'm going to do in this case is actually you can use your hand, or I'm actually just going to use my clear, bigger block, and I'm just going to press down on that. Okay. It doesn't matter if I get the back of it dirty because we're going to use the front, obviously. And lift it up, and there we have the world. So that's another easy way to be able to do a large stamp like this. Okay, so now I'm just going to wipe that clean. And what's fantastic about the glass mat is that we can just stick it right on and take it right off. And I love how this cleans up. You can see I have a little bit of blue, and my goodness, it just makes such a difference, because when I did it on my desk, I got to admit, I was scrubbing my desk a lot. And I tried it on some smaller stamps too. So here was on the deer, and here is just a normal tree stamp. It looks pretty normal, but definitely on these bigger ones or the distinctive stamps, you can see where the success is. So let me check my list to see where we're at. Did I get through those? Yes. Okay. One more. Now we're going to flip a little bit. I definitely need to clean my brayer now because we were doing how to color embossing folders with different colored inks. And we were having lots of fun with that one. And if you didn't see that one, you can go back to my website here that you see. And I took pictures of all the different embossing folders and what side uses. You like that for the larger one? Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? And I have samples as to what side works better, the Stampin' Up! Logo side or the other side, or which folders tend to work good for certain ones. So you can definitely go to my blog and check that out. Now, I am going to show you a technique that we are going to do here now with an embossing folder. Now, when we did it last time, we found that inking this up didn't work so well. Let's try it with something that Penny asked. Can you use Versamark on the embossing folders? Yes, you can. So good idea, because I had fun trying it, Penny. And if any time you guys have any questions, you want me to look at some new technique or something specific, please let me know, and I will do my very best to be able to figure out how to do it. So I did this last time on this side. This time, for the sake of just being different, I am going, actually, I'm not, am I going to go on this side? Yeah. We can use the brayer, or you can take, let's put paper on there, or you can take your Versamark and go right to, okay, and I'm twisting it a bit just so that it gets in there really good. And this one, you can't be too long. You want to be able to do this one fairly quickly. Press it down. And I'm just going to go behind me here because I'm going to emboss with the gray embossing plate, because this is a 3D. And we're just going to run it through the cut and emboss machine and carry it carefully so you don't make it slip. Okay, and behind me is silver embossing powder. Okay, we're going to lift this up. Okay, we put on this side this time. Let's see if this works. Okay, and I'm going to show you the other side that I did, and then you can tell me, is that the same side I did? Maybe it's the same side I did. Maybe it is. I'm going to do a portion here. Let's see. You know what? I think that's the same one I did. That's okay. So let's do the magic of the heat embossing. It's always best to turn it up a little bit, but this is what it's looking like so far. It doesn't look too fantastic, does it? So let's see. And then I'm going to show you the flip side of it. And then I have another one to show you, because kind of like the opposite of the other ones that we use, where we use the certain patterns. Well, these tend to work better with the more geo-shaped patterns. I wish I had the new online and inclusive ones, because I think those geometric shapes would work really well. And that's why I did try it on this candy cane weave. And you see how it's starting? So once it starts, you just start in one corner, and then you just keep going all the way around. Now, because I didn't go on this side, I think I'll be okay. But otherwise, you definitely want to use your tweezers. And you can see how fast it just kind of slides. It's embossing. Lovely, lovely. Oh man, this is what actually got me hooked on stamping. When I went to my first class back in 2004, and she did this embossing, and that magic, wow. And it's still wow to me, even to this day. Okay, now you may not be able to find the off button. Let's see if you can see the detail. Can you see it? Again, it doesn't look the best in the camera. It looks really cool in person. So let's try something different. Okay, what side did I put through? I think we're going to try this side, because, yeah, I did use, see, look, my sample, I think I did the same side. So let's flip it. We're going to now try the Stampin' Up! Logo side. You like that, Linda? Yes. You know, it's a lot of trial and error when you're trying something, but it's also kind of fun. And when I find things that don't work, I do like to share that with you, because you don't need to repeat the ones that don't work. And hopefully I can share with you the ones that do work. Is that the way? Let's hope that's the right one now. Okay. All right. Here, let's try this again. And then I'm going to show you some of the ones that I made with another embossing folder. And then I'm going to show you my favorite one. Okay, so candy weave. All right, it's on this side. Oops, this side. This time, I think. Yep. Okay. You don't want to wait too long for that powder. Okay, can you see something different here? That's pretty cool. Oops, I guess I didn't get right to the corner there. Did I? Oh, yes. I just didn't put the powder in that corner. Okay. Am I going to do it on the whole thing? I think I will this time, because I kind of like how this is turning out. Okay. Oh, maybe I didn't get any on that side. Oh, yes, I did. See, I just didn't get on the powder on that end. Okay. I'm going to move that. Actually, let's move it behind me because I don't trust what I'm going to do there. Oh, let's use my very fantastic cloth. There we go. And another thing that's fantastic about this glass mat is that it is heat resistant. So you don't have to worry. Oops, I'll keep that there so you don't see the flashing light. You don't have to worry because of the heat. So I'm going to put that right on that white spot. So when you're using it, it does not matter if you have it facing on the glass mat. It will get hot, but it won't wreck anything. So that's pretty cool. You can be safe. All right, I think I'm going to put this down. And that's what's really nice, because otherwise it's kind of flopping on me. But now I can put it right down, and it's starting to do its magic. We're going to go all the way, and it's on the hottest heat. We only have to worry about using one when we're working with things like vellum. We're going to go right into that corner. And we're going to go down this way. And I find that sometimes even if you angle it, maybe not with the, when you're doing a flat surface, no, I think it works better when you go head on because of all the little grooves. But if you have a flat surface, I do find that it does help when you put it on an angle a bit. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, I'm curious which one you think is going to work the best. Okay, turn this off. Okay, so I guess my tweezer's off. Okay. Oh, I think I like this one. Hard to tell, but see, all the raised is white, and it's inside that is now the silver, and it's the opposite on the other one. So much fun to try those different ones out. And I'll show you here. I used, I tried the splatters. Yes, it does, doesn't it? And this is the splatters embossing folder. So that's kind of different, a different technique. But my absolute favorite is the metal plate. And when I did this one, I thought, it's got to go with Trusty Tools. So I used the Trusty Tools bundle, and I created this card. So you can see there is the metal from the embossing folder that I use the silver embossing. So it kind of looks like the metal metal plate that they use in their workshop. So I thought with the red, it just kind of stood out really well. So there is a fun card made with that. So we learned quite a few little different tips and techniques. And I can't find my finished cards over here as well. So, two very different ideas, but a whole bunch of other tips that hopefully you can try and let me know what you like. Oh, there's Yvonne. You'll have to watch the replay. All righty. Well, ladies, thank you very much for joining me. I will put some more of these tips on my blog by tomorrow so that you'll be able to see what were the specific tips that we did use. So thanks again, and be sure to check out the celebration brochure. We actually have one more month, and that way you can earn some free things. And I just realized I have the paper sitting at my printer, but guess what? They have now introduced another month of Stampin' Up celebration rewards. So I will post that right after this video. But check it out because there's some things that are in the catalog that you can get now free with the orders. All right. You're inspired? Oh, goody. I'd love to see what you create. So show me and let me know. Thanks very much, everyone. Bye bye.